Hello. So today we are going to do vulnerability scanning with Nessus and potentially OpenVAS if Cali hurries up and installs. If not, we're just going to stick with Nessus. It's a pretty good scanner that they use everywhere. Here, let me just pull it up here. So I'm already logged into my platform. I don't remember my username, so we'll just start from resetting it and everything like that. But if you go to, if you just Google Nessus, I think it's Tenable is the actual name of the company. And as you can see, they have a whole bunch of different platforms now. It used to not be free. Now they have, well, I mean, I guess a long time ago it was free, then it went back to paid with just trial versions and stuff, and then when it went back to free, I guess, for scanning just a few IPs and stuff like that. So feel free to download it, check it out, and install it. So when you install it, it's going to take a while, and I think I talked about this briefly in another video when I screwed up when I was just doing the cloud API stuff. But it takes quite a while to upload or download all the plugins. I want to say it's like 10 gigs of data or something like that for all the different plugins. So first thing I'm going to do is reset my password, or actually add a user, because I don't remember what I did when I installed this last week. So let's see, Nessus add user CLI. So most of the Nessus commands are going to be under what's going on here. It's going to be under program files. Oh man, what is wrong with my little dealie here? Let's just browse for it first before doing all that. Let's see, add a user. Okay, program files must be in regular. Okay, Tenable, Nessus, and then we have Nessus CLI. So if you just do a, I can't do copy like that. If we do a, oh jeez, oops. Here we can just kind of see, okay, Nessus CLI. Oh my goodness, I am so not a Windows person. It'll give you a whole bunch of different options that you can run, and or not. I guess I have to open this as a power user or something. Let's see. Run as administrator. Yes. Okay, let's try this again. So hopefully, if you're already doing this, you kind of know Windows a little bit, Windows servers. Oh my goodness, more than I do, clearly. Essentially, everything should be done in your administrative command prompts and stuff like that. You have like what they kind of call some like a user access control that prevents regular users from doing things, and when you want to do something administrative, you have to specifically elevate. It's the same thing as running sudo when you're in a Linux environment, basically. So let's try this again. Nessus CLI. All right. Now we should get, okay, cool, all of our little dealies. So here's a whole bunch of different options. Just like in Linux, you can kind of figure it out by just looking at the options and trying it. Like here's add user, so I could probably do Nessus CLI add user, and my license doesn't. Okay, what is my user? I don't even know what my user is. That's awesome. Let's just try the basics, see if I did, hopefully did super default crap. So I'm just gonna do change password. Does it give me options like that? No. Password. And then let's say admin. Oh, look at that. Change password. Wasn't sure if I use admin or some other name. All right, cool. When you launch this, basically this is like a little mini web server on your box, right? I guess I shouldn't say mini, but whatever. It's a web server that's hosted on the system. So whether if you install this at home or whatever, you can browse to it either with your web server IP, or if it's just installed locally for localhost, you can install it and run it from there only. So you can browse to it, or you can go to the Nessus web client and it'll open up the browser and point to that web page for you. All right. Let's see what we got. So while this is going, let's go ahead and I'm going to start up a couple of instances to scan. I can scan myself and these instances and just see where we go. So let's just do, that's an interesting way to do it. So this is different than, you know, some of the more advanced like security center versions that Tenable has out there. If you know your network, so for example, I can say 10.128.0.0/24. So for example, here we have my 10.28.128.0 network. So any of these boxes that I create in here is going to be under that. And if you guys don't know the CIDR stuff, probably should learn it if you're going to do any sort of networking at all. /24 means I get this first everything from 0 to 255, basically from a target perspective. All right, so I'm going to say that's my target. And let's see if it, oh, it's actually launching a discovery scan. So yeah, that's different. Okay, so I guess it's you're really trying to do things for you. I really don't think that that's a good idea. I mean, be careful with this, obviously, if you're doing anything in real environments. And it discovered 4, which is obviously running. It should have discovered 2 and 3. Oh, look at that. It's discovering everything. Yeah, that's interesting. So something that some people may get confused on is when you run discovery scans, it's just doing a certain type of protocol ping. It might be a ping-based scan. It could be a SYN scan. There could be a few different ways that you can do it. Basically, initiating communications and then seeing what is returned in response. The thing is, because of firewalls and VLANs and quarantine zones and stuff like that, it could make it appear that there is a something there because of the way that whatever that device is or the things that are set up in place are responding to a particular type of IP, making it look as though there's something like this. So be very careful with discovery scans. I mean, obviously it doesn't matter if it's just your own little test network, but if you're doing an actual pen test and all this other stuff, you basically be hitting a whole bunch of stuff that you don't, or attempting things that you don't even need to, and then that would also give you away. It's like, okay, well, everybody knows that there's not going to be all of these different IPs on the network, and so anything that tries to get to it or get to a whole bunch of them, well, it's going to just be obvious. So anyway, so I'm gonna let's just cancel this out, because we really didn't need to do that. I thought it was gonna just give me some sort of quick. Can I stop this? Let's just stop it. All right, so yeah, let's not go that route. I thought it was just gonna set up like my target network or something like that, and then allow me to choose from these. So let's start off with creating a new scan, and I'm going to target these this box specifically. Let's do this. This one's in a Windows server that I didn't do any password stuff with. I mean, anything crazy with. I'm just going to reset the password now so that I can essentially use this. All right, so let's just do. So there's a whole bunch of different types of scans. I personally would only stick to the most basic things. Go to. So for example, let me just explain. So if you look at Credential patch audit, well, there's lots of scans that are going to be scanning for patches, right? If you do these very specific, like WannaCry ransomware check, so they have it kind of pre-set up for very specific vulnerabilities or attacks, and it's because like some of these things were so like WannaCry was a very huge deal. I guess it might still be a huge deal, but several years ago when it first came out, it was a huge deal. So people wanted to target and search their network for just that particular vulnerability. I think that's kind of like just the easy button for a lot of this stuff, but really it's not that hard to do yourself. And honestly, I think that if you're doing in the scanning business, like you really you shouldn't need to like figure out what you want to actually scan for. Basically, Nessus is set up in such a way that everything is a plugin, right? So if you want to scan for something, well, you just target that particular plugin. So let's just, and there's normally full scan. There's normally a whole bunch of different, actually, you know what, these scans could take a while. So that's one detriment to doing something like this in real time is these scans sometimes can take a while depending on how fast your boxes are and whatnot. But let's just see 128.0.3 and let's see, go to plugins, and we're just gonna select all plugins. Is there a good way to do that? I thought that there was a way to easily select all plugins. Here, let's just put in our credentials first so I don't lose my copy that I just copied. Okay, so we're gonna do Windows credentials, username, Cybersec live, password, and I'm not on a domain, so hopefully it's smart enough to know. All right, and then we'll go to plugins. Yeah, I feel like, okay, so by default they're all enabled. I see. If I didn't want to select a plugin, I could do that. Now I want to say that by default it's not going to do, so some plugins there exist will do actual attempts to log in and stuff like that. So, and if it doesn't, and if it tries to log in over 3 times or whatever, it could lock your systems out. So normally they have like something that says disable not safe plugins or something like that. I guess they don't do that anymore. I don't know if that's kind of the default. Oh, enable safe checks. Yeah, so if you disable that, it's going to do all the plugins, and it's only a small handful that will really lock out your system or do a denial of service of some sort. So I've never really needed to not use that, but I guess we could kind of play with it ourselves on our own time, or we can use a box randomly and see what happens. Actually, let's do that after this. We'll do one safe and one not safe and see if it does something crazy. All right, so, and then we'll do a scan to this Linux box. I don't know if it's smart enough to do SSH search. I think it is. I don't know if it's like a pro add-on or something that you have to purchase. All right, so is it saving yet? It's taking this thing so long. Because if I did .4, that would really slow my system down. All right, so let's run that on demand. All right, so that should be running, and let's see how long that takes. Now, while that is going, I am going to see if I can launch my Cali instance. Actually, let's just go ahead and reboot and see. Okay. So while that goes, we'll see what we got. So something to keep in mind when you're doing these scans is, like I mentioned, it's gonna hit your box pretty hard. So when you do them, if it's in a live environment and all that other stuff, of course you want to do it downtime, do it during downtime hours, or just schedule a maintenance window or something like that. I would say for quick systems, 5 minutes maybe for a scan. For slower systems, it could go as long as an hour. So it all depends. Slower, bigger systems. So if this goes over just 5 minutes, I'll just do another, cancel that and do another one. Let's see, where is our, let's see what's going on with our Cali instance, see what happens here. All right. So in Cali, it's kind of a platform for doing all of these types of vulnerability scans and whatnot, penetration testing and whatnot. And let me see if I can. Oh, boo. Okay, let me kill that. Actually, let me install guest editions real quick. So if you guys run VirtualBox or anything like that, that's what I'm using right now. You should basically, install this. Oh goodness. And get the guest edition so that it can do things like expand the monitor and all these other things. Let's see. Oh, actually, what is it under? What is it under? Maybe guest editions. Oh, CD-ROM. So, media, CD-ROM 0, and we will run as root. Let's just do that. Or not. Okay. I don't even know why I don't have permissions to do that as sudo. Oh, you know what? It's probably mounted as Linux. Here we go with doing stupid stuff again. All right, let's just. I feel like I have to mount this as like something. Mount dev CD-ROM 0. Media CD-ROM 0. Is that a dev? Let me just make sure that's actually. Where's that S? What is the flag? It's like sec. This is pretty crappy, but whatever. All right, let's see. No, I hate. Why am I in there? No. Let's do Linux mount CD-ROM that's the command. Tech O. Tech O. Exec. All right. All right. Now let's try this again. Okay, I didn't like run it through. How about that one? All right, yes, there we go. All right, yeah. For people who aren't Linux users, it's probably like, why do you have to do all of that stuff just to run a command? All right, so let's add some display memory to this box so I can do a full screen. Start. All right, now let's go full screen mode. Yay. All right. I thought I was gonna, there we go. Sweet. All right. Cybersecurity. Okay, that just crashed. That's wonderful. All right, let's see what this is doing while we're waiting. Still running. I have no idea why it crashed. Let's see. If I can't get this to work, we will just day. Yep, it just keeps crashing. That's awesome. Can't win with this. All right. I really got to do more of this stuff offline. All right. While that's going, let's go ahead and do another scan. So actually, something that I would like to do because, you know, these scans, really all Nessus is doing is running a bunch of signatures, right, against its database. Really, let's just do nmap signature scanning and signatures. So if you really want to get down to it, nmap is an open project that provides tons and tons of things. That's what actually Nessus has. I'm not Nessus, but Cli has is a whole bunch of different tools, nmap included. I thought that Nessus at one time used nmap actually. I don't know if that's the case anymore or not. I'm assuming that it has probably got away from that at some point, but anyway, with nmap, we can do these lots of same scans. Oh, look at this one. It completed manually through the command line, and much more targeted as to what you want to look for. We're gonna get into that at some point when we talk about the penetration test side of things, but just figured I would mention that that's all Nessus is doing, except it's in a pretty interface. All right, so this is done. Sweet. So let's see if we can now view the results. All right, so 4 vulnerabilities, a bunch of informationals, SSL issue, TLS issue, and that's it. So because there's no software on it, it kind of makes sense that there's not going to be that many vulnerabilities. It's a brand new instance that got stood up, so it has probably a lot of the latest patches. I'm honestly a little surprised that there are no patches, considering this was, when was it? I don't even know when it was last. Here, let's just make, authentication failure. Look at that. Not possible to log in. Okay, so that's our real issue, is we have an authentication failure. So when you're doing these scans, that's going to be one of the first things that you really want to make sure that the scan is running properly. Make sure you got credentials because if you don't get credentials, you're going to have you're not going to really get all of the checks to be done. So let's go configure this and see why we had actually, let's see what we had for credentials. So my guess is it's this domain thing, but let's do I still have this copied? Sweet. All right, let's first see if I can log into it. So let's remote desktop from our Nessus box. Sometimes a lot of the easiest way to test things out is to literally make sure that it's able to connect. So we had 10.128.0.3, right? And we have Cyberspec live and our password. Let's see what happens. All right, looks like we're good there. So most likely, and it's definitely not a Windows 10 box. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and close that. So I'm not sure why it died there, but probably has something to do with the domain maybe. So let's see if we can go into our scan and see specifically what it tried. Okay, unable to create a socket. I don't know. All right, so it could be the domain thing. Let's just see if, no, let's see. Windows Core enable Nessus Credentialed scan. Yeah, here we go. So, right, shares. All right, so let's first try the admin shares. So there's a few different checks that I used to do. It's kind of bringing back memories, I guess. Let's see what we got. So first, let's see if we can access. We're gonna do registry. Where's registry? Okay. Or not. Let's try Reddit. And then we'll also go here. So first is admin shares. So if we do //10-128-0.3/C drive, C dollar. Let's see what that does. And they do the IPC dollar. I guess that we could do that too. IPC dollar. If you can't do it, or if you can't connect, that's basically what they're doing here is with this net use command is they're seeing if they can connect to this particular admin share. If it's not enabled, then scanning and stuff like that won't work. And then this is the remote registry service that I was actually just going to check. So if I do connect to network registry and I say 10-128-0-3 and try to connect, if it prompts me for a password and I can enter it and it works, then remote registry is good to go. And I might have lost my password. That sucks. Because I literally, let's see if I lost it. Oh, no. Okay. This is what what I get for not doing actual password management here. So I'm gonna reset my password again. Set. All right, password, and let's just paste this into just for kicks for now. All right. And let's see what if it connects. And I'm assuming this. So let's go ahead and enable these admin shares. Let's see, do they give you how to add admin shares? Let's see, Windows core enable admin shares. Okay, so yeah, so the remote registry didn't work either. So let's do, okay, blah, 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 blah. All right. That's adding admin shares. So let's go ahead and, can I even do that in here? Seriously? Okay, that's super annoying. Why it's not allowing me to copy when I'm right here? Don't know. Whatever. Fine. Okay. It's not smart either. Software, Microsoft, of course not. Windows, current version, policy system, and we'll call them local account token filter. Policy, reg, keyword, T1F. All right, let's see. Reg at HKLM software, Microsoft Windows, current version, policy system, local account token filter. Policy T type reg D word. All right. Completed. All right. All right. So to troubleshoot how to get this dang scan to work, Nessus does have some decent articles on kind of what to do. So we're just going to go through each one of these and try and get this Windows core to work. I really should have used something other than Windows core, but whatever, we'll see how we can do it. All right, so first let's make sure WMI service is running. So enable WMI for remote access. Since we are working with a command line, we're gonna need to do something like this, I guess. All right, so let's see if this works. All right. Take you over. Change firewall set service remote. Smart admin enable. All right. That looked like it worked. Okay. Decom calls on the remote machine. Do I have to actually enable remote WI requests? How do I do that remotely? I don't know how to do that remotely. All right. Let's see if I can maybe, let's do this. Let's see, add computer management. Let's see if it lets me do this. 128.0.3. Let's see what happens. Let's see if it's gonna access denied. Okay. Let me do something here, right? Why is it showing anything? Oh my goodness. I really probably should make this a domain thing, because since it's not connected to a domain, it's like, I feel like maybe that's part of our reason that's causing a lot of these problems. Since Windows really made to be connected together. Yeah, that's super frustrating. All right, let's man, nothing's gonna be easy here. Let's see if I can go to some of these other ones. I don't know if it's going to help. So I tried enabling remote registry already by running net start remote registry. And that should be good. File print sharing. Let's enable that. Enable file and print sharing. Windows 4. Here we go again with our netsh command. All right, netsh. See, I don't know if that. Okay, looks like that potentially worked. Okay, all right, well, we'll just go from there. Port 139, 445. I'm assuming that should have been done with the firewall. SMB account, local administrator, no security policies, and default admin shares. So I was not able to check all of this, but I did start remote registry and whatnot. So let's just try this again and see what happens. Definitely not the best way to do this, because if I'm not able to connect with remote registry, if I'm not able to get to the file share from here, then the file share should work now that I opened up that firewall. But let's see. Do I still have this? No, let's see. Where am I? All right, so admin shares work. That's positive. Oh, okay, and all right, both are working. Sweet. Okay, so yes, so that was all we needed to do. All right, so now let's log back into our scanner. run our quick scan again. Now, hopefully this will go a little faster. Probably won't, but I will just pause this and come back in a second. Okay, so the scan finished, and we do have some more findings. Wow. All right, so let's just see. Let's go to our Nessus scan information, and when you go into this check, you can see finally, okay, yep, we have our credential check as yes via SMB. So now that we got a credential check, we are able to see that there are actually some findings on here that need to get corrected. This is a patch basically, right? So when you go to the plugins and see what's actually happening, you can kind of see what it's looking for. It's saying, hey, got the version of this particular file and it's not the right version, so it should be a blah blah blah, right? So that's all it's doing when we're checking for these vulnerabilities. So something to keep in mind, and maybe we'll play with this at another time when we have a little more time, is this is all it's looking for, is this version, right? It's not looking at a hash, it's not looking at anything like that. So if I were a deep malicious situation where I basically got into a system and then hacked this, I could change the version to be whatever the proper version should be, and it'll just look like it's fine, even though it's not the right thing, because all it's looking for is that version number. Now, some signatures look for slightly different things, but you'll find that the vast majority of signatures are looking for very specific settings that if that setting is fine, they move on. So we have to be careful in assuming that this is the end all be all. It's just a very, very high level check, assuming that nothing more deep and embedded is done. So that is all we got for now. You can run reports, you can do all of this stuff. You would basically do this on your entire network, and then you would slowly fix things and make sure that you're doing things right. Now, something that I haven't gotten into yet, which I guess I should have probably, is performing the actual SCAP scan. Let me see if I can do that really quick. I don't know if that's going to be easy to do from here or not. Let's say new scan, and let's do SCAP and OVAL auditing. Oh, upgrade to Nessus Professional. Okay, so we will obviously do this another time. So that's all we got for now. Thank you for watching. Let me know if you have any questions. All right, see you next time.